What's up, guys? Welcome to Run It Back with Blair Bomber. I'm Blair Bomber, and I've been pussyfooting around with the podcast. Okay, here's what happened. I had some guests that were going to come on, and then it didn't work out. And then I was like, okay, I'll gear up and I'll do a couple solos, knock those out, put those out on Friday. And then, I just fucked off. And it wasn't even like I was boozing. I wasn't boozing. I mean, I had a couple last night, but Daddy did a show. And when Daddy does a show, he's got to have a couple pops. What's up with you guys? How we doing? What's going on? Does anybody hate their life yet? Is anybody in the throes of hating everything about what their day-to-day is? I mean, I get it, and I don't. Things are going pretty well for me. I got no complaints. Your boy's got no... I'm really starting to peak, I think. I'm settling into my job. I'm making a little bit of money. The hoes are, they're out and about. Your boy stepped out last night. The hoes were about. Did a couple shows last week. Not to brag, but your boy's getting booked. But the second I say that, I won't do a show for like 2 months. That's just the way that goes. The second you start to get a little bit cocky in this game. Before we get going, I'm just going to give a shout out to my boy Big Jake for getting cut 4 times in a week and a half. Re-signed, or was signed for the first time to the Tennessee Titans. But what's so funny about COVID protocol is the guy gets signed and now he has to just sit in a hotel room alone and quarantine for 7 days. They're just like sending him just bags of food. Like, hey man, just don't die. What they should do is send him bags of food and like a laptop just for porn. Like one that's premium everything. YouPorn, Pornhub, JizzFeed, all of them. Should be just loaded up, whatever you want. Here you go. And then they give him, it's like, hey, do you want a massage? And he's like, yeah, of course I would love a massage. And then they just send a masseuse over there, and that masseuse is just someone to suck his dick. I think that's what the NFL should do. I think that'd be a good move. On their part, I think the players would be happier. That's the problem, is these guys that are disgruntled are guys that are married and they don't like their kids, and they're not getting their dicks sucked. So I think that if we... And by we, I mean me and the NFL, because we have a pretty good partnership going on. I mean, me and Goodell are just fucking... You could say we're in cahoots. Just me and old Raj. We just say scheming. But Big Jake signed. Yeah, man, practice squad. I mean, he's not like a real player. He's a fucking, I mean, I'm on the practice squad, so it's not like it's that impressive. But yeah, dude, did a show up in guys, did a show up in Georgetown. No big deal. Just daddy's out here just staying booked. It'll go away in 3 days. Did a show up in Georgetown, and the thing about Georgetown, it's a small town north of Austin, and I don't think anybody under the age of 50 lives in that town. It's just all people that made their money, and they're like, we love that Confederate statue over there, so let's go drink by it all the time. And people don't wear masks. I mean, they do, but if they're outside, they're just out drinking. Every time I've been there, usually on Thursdays, people are just getting fucked up. Shout out my boy Dean, my boy Spencer for throwing me on. I really appreciate it. Did a hot 7. Hot 7. And what's so funny is when you do comedy for an older crowd, you notice these weird beats that they laugh at or triggers that they might have, things they don't like, because I got some pretty nasty shit where I can just, rape jokes up front. You know the rules. You know the rules here, guys. But I found it so interesting to hear the parts where they're in and then they're out. Like I have this one bit about fighting. Guys, you want to hear this bit? Hey, guys, I'm working on this bit. Who wants to hear it? But I have this bit about fighting, and it pretty much in the bit I talk about another guy calling my girlfriend, not real, calling my girlfriend a bitch, and now I have to fight that guy, or so my girlfriend says. But I won't. I'm just gonna agree with him. Like, yeah, she's kind of a dumb whore. Anyway, when I say bitch, I've recorded this. I don't know if I probably won't put it up anywhere because the video footage is kind of shit. Bad lighting. Come on, guys, get some better lighting. With some white lights. One single white light. Keep it good. Here's this woman in the crowd go, oh no. Just because in this imaginary scenario that I made up for this bit, I just made it up. And this chick heard it and she was like, oh no, I don't agree with this. That's not what I like. Because old, successful white women, bitch is their N-word. That's genuinely how they feel. Like they honestly, that's the worst thing you can call them. I mean, that or racist. I mean, just call them racist. That's the best way to get them to shut the fuck, or to get them to talk more. I am not racist. It's like, have you do the asshole thing? Who'd you vote for though? You know who I voted for. Can't you hear his voice and my voice? Okay. But they were cool, you know. Got them early. Lost them late. The usual. Start strong, steady in the middle, and then really not tie it off at the end. Was kind of how it went. But that's how it goes sometimes. Like, we're going to sit here and pretend like it's always going to be the best time ever. Sometimes it's not going to go as well. And that's why last night was so funny. Another show last night, and my boy, hold up. Hose on my phone. Hose on my phone. It's called Haymaker. Is the name of the place. Dude, every time I'm on here, it's like no one will talk to me all day. But the second I start recording, people are like, hey, what are we doing tonight? It's like, fuck. Well, Blair, if you had recorded the podcast earlier in the day, like you were supposed to, then this would be a lot easier. And you know what? Shut up, pussy. Now, I'm gonna hang out with this nice girl tonight. She seems nice. She seems nice. She may or may not let me shove my cock in her mouth. I don't know. It's too early to say. Bonnie, you still listening? Bonnie, you still there? You know, if you're not going to try and lose your mom in the first 10 minutes of your podcast, are you even a comedian? I mean, I'm barely a comedian. Like, I do comedy, but I mean, the amount of money that I've spent doing it, it's like, at this point, it's like a shitty community college that I'm just paying them money I don't have. Just slowly slipping into more and more debt. Because I want to have a future. But last night, my boy Matty Dean. Matty Dean? I feel like Matt's last name could be Dean. It's not. It's Boyd. It's Matty Boyd. He was doing a show with my guy Miles, and I should know Miles' last name. Miles something. Good kid. He had a show downtown, Dirty Six, gang. This bar called Shakespeare, and it's a cool venue. And I just wanted to go check the show out. You know, I wasn't booked. I wanted to go out on, you know, take a look and see what was happening. I didn't want to text Matt. I knew he was going because he was on the show and I wasn't on the show. But I didn't want to say, hey, come pick me up. But Matt read my mind. Good guy. He read my mind and he said, I'm showing up at your place. And I was like, this guy just wants me to come hang out with him. And then the guy walked in and immediately took a shit in my toilet and streaked way too high up the bowl. Like way, way too high. It was as if he shit in his hand and then just was like doing a cave painting. Just like, all right, let's fucking put some up there. And there's some stars there. And this is a guy who's going to hold the hand of the other guy, but we're not gay, even though back in the day he used to hold hands. Anyway, here's some shit on the bowl. But it gave me a ride, so it's okay. We go to the show. And actually pretty decent turnout, I would say. One of the guys didn't show up, so they need some time to fill. Hey, I'm here. Throw me on. Throw daddy up. Let me get a spot. Go up there, man. And sometimes things just kind of fall into place. Sometimes the jokes hit, your timing's there, you got them. Do quick five, and I'm fucking out of there. And I'm fucking off. Had a couple brews. Maddie went up after me. Maddie did well. So we're just kind of hanging out, talking, bullshitting. And the headliner doesn't show up. I'm not going to name any names, but this guy didn't show up, which is pretty disrespectful to the show. Like, if someone's going to book you, man, fucking at least have the courtesy to say you're not going to be there. Don't just no call, no show like you're a server at Chuck E. Cheese. That I can understand. No call, no show, that's for Red Robin. That's for Olive Garden. It's not for comedy, dude. Come on. People put effort into this. There's no covers. You know who you are. You're not listening. And I'll probably say something to you eventually. But right now, it's like, who gives a shit? I'm just like, I don't care, but I'm also like, come on, man. I mean, also, thank you for not showing up because then I got to do a spot. And then he didn't show up, so then they needed more time. I was like, hey, man, I'll go back up there. These people love me. I go back up there, and I was like, they like me too much. Let's try some rape material. And 1 to 3 guys loved it, and 1 girl was about ready to kill me. That's when you know you're doing something right. When everyone in the room is kind of torn one way. But people aren't listening. Like, one girl had her back to me the entire time. It's so disrespectful to just turn your back to somebody who's doing stand-up. Like, could you imagine if I went to this fucking bitch's job, this dumb bitch, went to her job, worked at a fucking computer, working at home, and I sat and just, hey, how are you? And then just turned my back to her for an hour and a half. That girl would say, what are you doing? Why are you in my apartment? I'm like, hey, just paying it forward, babe. Start calling her babe. Women love being called babe when you're not their girlfriend. They love it. Next time you're at a restaurant and there's a server with ear gauges and neck tattoos, goes by, has the pronouns she, her on her name tag next to her name, which is a flower. My name's Daisy. This is Daisy. Yeah. Next time Daisy asks you what you want to drink, just say, babe, you look beautiful today. Babe, will you just go ahead and pick for me? Babe? Thanks, babe. It'll go over real well. She'll love that. We're having fun. Will I make the full 30? Don't know. I kind of want to have a beer. Maybe if I crack a beer, that will inspire me to push all the way through. Like, if I make it to 15 minutes, which is like 2 minutes away from, maybe, I don't know. I'll have to edit probably some of it out. You can't make fun of people that have she, her on their name tag because I feel like that's not. But okay, here's the thing. Now that the liberals won and fucking Biden's going to be in office and Trump's going to fuck off, then now we should be able to go back to making fun of the people, because you got to punch up. Because when the Republicans had office and they were all fucking, and Trump was doing all his crazy shit, people were just kind of like shitting on him, but they're like, hey, don't shit on liberals and all their fucking PC shit. But now I think you should be able to, because they're in the place of power. And I don't really associate with either side, dude. I'm a libertarian, man. Fucking let me have my rights, give me guns, let me fuck my wife in her mouth if she says yes, of course. But she has property, so who gives a shit, you know? Anyway. I'm kidding. I'm fucking joking. Women aren't property. Okay? The property value of like land is so much more than any woman I've ever met. Guys, I'm not being serious. Can't we just all just come together and just laugh a little bit? Because now the liberals are in power, we should be able to fucking make fun of them for their shit. So all this liberal agenda, just fucking make fun of it. Right? If you see someone with a she, her on her thing, on her name tag, you should be able just to call her babe and say, babe. And they're like, you know, did you not see it says, it's like, yeah, no, I know, but like babe is not gender specific when I say it. It's like, dude. It doesn't, everybody's a dude. It's not a gender thing. All right? It's like, who cares? No one cares. No one's listening. No one gives a shit. On YouTube, they care. People on YouTube fucking give a shit. But they're fake accounts. They're not actually accounts that can do anything to me. But it's fine. It's fine, boys. It's fine. Boys, girls, theirs, thems. We're hanging out. There was something that I wanted to talk about. I wrote this down the other day, and I don't know what it was. Something to do with, it might just be a movie cliche, or because I mean, you see it in almost every rom-com ever. There's a guy who's in love with a girl he works with, but she's in a relationship. Okay, here it is. Okay, yeah. Dude, it's not. I'm not even reading this off. It was just something that I noted. I was like, make sure that you fucking bring this up because this is something that I actually think is important. Dude, the idea of, I can't say it right. I can't like. See, I tried to prep for it, and now I lost it. I have to edit that part out. 15:30. Okay. Look, dude, the idea of confessing your love for someone who's in a relationship, that is just the most beta cuck thing ever. Like, yeah, like I love Samantha so much, and I just know that her guy, Daryl, is just not treating her the way that I could treat her, and I think that if I just keep on showing that I care, then maybe she'll wake up one day and she'll want to, be with me. It's like, shut up, dude. Quit trying to undermine that guy. Let him fuck it up. Just be cool. Don't be weird. Don't go and undermine him by buying her better gifts. Don't do that. That's some fucking bullshit right there. Have a code, Men have a code, I think, for the most part. Like, look, if you're a guy and you have sex with a girl who has a boyfriend, but you didn't know, that's not on you. You didn't know. That's on her. That's between those two. You are just, hey, you're a pawn in their sexual games, man. But if you knowingly had an affair with somebody, it's like, yeah, guy code, dude, you're a fucking piece of shit. But also still her fault. Okay? Women don't get enough shit for that. Because the guy didn't make her do it. She decided. She made the decision. What I'm saying is if you're the guy on the outside looking in, don't be a little, I hope she'll love me one day. It's like, dude, just be nice and then go down 2 floors and fuck that slut in HR. Fuck her. Fuck other people. Don't just sit there and wait and cry and I did that before. Where you're in love with someone who's in a relationship and you're like, you try to make up reasons in your head, like why that guy's not good enough for her. When in reality, he's way better than you. He's got tattoos and a nice smile that he didn't have to pay for in Iowa for like $7,000. All right? If someone's in a relationship, you're done. There's no point. There's nothing else you're going to do. What are you going to take some guy's girl? Fuck off, dude. Ugh, move on. Now, if she wants to flirt and be all like, oh my God, my boyfriend, it's like, okay, just be around. But don't make an effort. Don't buy her flowers for her birthday or chocolates for Christmas or a butt plug for Valentine's Day. Don't do that. Just fucking let their shit run its course. And then you got to keep on living your life. And I guarantee you, if you bag enough chicks after that, you'll probably just be over her by then. That's definitely a movie thing, right? That's definitely a movie thing. Is when a guy's in love with a girl and she's got another guy and he thinks he's better than her, but he's like a soft-spoken guy. The good guys finish last. It's like, yeah, they fucking should. If you're a good guy, I mean, look, I guess what I just said technically is leave her alone. That's kind of a good guy thing. And then you do the anti-hero thing by going and fucking somebody else. But that's not anti-hero. That's just that's what you should be doing anyway. Now you can vibe with somebody in a relationship and you can be friends. But don't make it weird. Don't try and push. Don't try and undermine the dude. Let him fuck it up on his own. He's probably going to cheat on her anyway. And then you just hang out like, oh my God, he cheated on you? What a piece of shit. I thought you guys were really going to make it. Bartender, can I get 2 more shots of Jameson, please? Thank you. Come here, babe. Come on, babe. I mean, whatever, dude. I just think it's so... There are just things like that, man, where I think that they happen in movies and then we just assume that's what it is. But if you see it enough in a movie, then we kind of just accept that's how it is. Like with... I was watching John Wick 2 the other day. Just last night I was watching John Wick 2. And they had those silencers. And they're walking by, and at one scene where John Wick, so Keanu Reeves, and Common are on different levels of this train station. And they're shooting their fucking silencers in a crowd of people, and they're just like missing each other, and no one notices that. You guys know that a silencer and suppressors, all they do is they just get rid of the light. The flash goes away. It's still loud as shit. But because we saw it in games and movies, then people see that and they're like, oh, that's not crazy. Like, they would be surprised if they saw a silencer on a gun and it made noise. Like, whoa, I thought it was supposed to be silent. Isn't that defeating the purpose? And it's like, well, weren't you supposed to not send that girl a book that her grandmother got her when she was a kid? You pussy. Okay, I went A to C there. Okay, I skipped B and just kind of made it. You guys, did you quit? Did we get there? We got that, right? That made sense. But because we see it in movies, it's like, okay, that's how it's supposed to be. But some things are so kind of out there, you know? Like, going back to the rom-com thing, we've seen it happen enough times in movies, but it doesn't really, if it happened in real life, it'd be weird, you know? Like if there was a guy who was in love with a girl who was married, and then he was like trying to get with her, and they end up getting together, you'd be like, that guy's kind of a piece of shit. Like in real life. But in reality, they build this whole storyline, this whole narrative of, well, she's in an abusive relationship and he's just a nice guy who can give her everything she needs. They just miss each other and the timing is just bad. But in reality, we don't ask that question. If you hear that a girl cheats on her boyfriend or husband, you just assume that girl's a slut and that guy's a piece of shit. Which is accurate, probably. Unless he's kicking the shit out of her. I mean, unless there's abuse. Okay, there's abuse, then always go in there and fuck that girl, okay? Fuck that girl in his bed and come on his face. That's what you should do. Blair, you're going sexual. Yeah. You're right. Daddy's going a little sexual. I'm a little yiked up. I'm a little horny. Can I be horny? Is that allowed? Supposed to meet a nice girl tonight and I'm fucking horny. Okay? Are we going to get mad at me for that? Ugh. Can't you guys just be team me? Just be team Blair. Am I asking too much? Anyway. Whenever I go off on like a tangent and then it gets sexual, because my mind is always kind of going to like, what's like the dirtiest sex joke I can add to this story? Whenever that happens, I'm just like, it's hard to transition to, well, the Seahawks are playing. The Seahawks kicking the shit out of the Jets. Blair, 5 seconds ago, you just talked about fucking a girl and coming on her husband's face. It's like, yeah. You got to close the chapter on that. You got to close the chapter and you got to move on to the next thing. Right, guys? Don't we agree? Dude, I got to get up at fucking 3 a.m. tomorrow. And I'm still kicking around the idea of having some beers. How ignorant am I? Why do I? The fact that people let me make decisions that might impact their life. I mean, not many people, but some people have definitely said, hey, Blair, what do you think about this? It's like, yo, dude, I drink on Sundays with a 3 a.m. wake-up call. I don't. I'm not the guy you should be asking anything. You should ask me, what is the best way to wear a condom twice? That's the kind of thing you should ask me. And then I would say, condoms? I'm kidding. Your boy loves condoms. Big condom guy. I just set up a bunch of condoms in my room just now, like 5 seconds ago. Put like 6 condoms. I had them in a fanny pack, took them out of the fanny pack, and I put them on the windowsill next to my bed. Because I'm a responsible love maker. And if you guys can't see that, then, you know, I don't even know where we go from here. And I'm for sure blowing off a mic tonight to hang out with this girl. But I got up twice last night, and I know that it's like, you know how people say the guys that are the most difficult guys, the guys that are obsessed, the guys that they're obsessed, they could never put it down. Yeah, they were probably a nightmare to hang out with. And I mean, what is the price of success? You know, you didn't live your life a little bit? I mean, come on. Oh, and then another host, like, what do you got going on? See, that's the thing. It's like, I just like to put it in their hands. Because then it's because like if I press, then I get let down. Like if it's my idea, like if I'm saying, hey, like let's meet this day at this time at this place, and they can't make it or this cancels, I'll be like, shit, look at all that effort I put in. I didn't really put any effort into that, but in my mind I did. But if I just say to them like, hey, you pick, and then they end up canceling their own plans, it's like, well, it was never really in my hands anyway. It was never really in my hands anyway. Okay. That's the right one. It's not all right. That's McConaughey. Okay. That's Leo Getz.
Leo Getz.
Dude, what a silly episode this has been. It's just silly. Which is good because I have Christmas lights in my living room and they're in no general direction. I just started nailing stuff into the wall. I was like, oh, I'll hang this there. And this one right here, like I was having it down, but it kept hitting the chair. So then I decided to put it up there and in the background of the pod. If you're listening to this, you can't see it. But if you're listening to this, go fucking watch the YouTube, man. Go watch the YouTube. Y'all don't want to watch the YouTube? Y'all just don't care about the YouTube? Really?
Really?
Like whatever, man. It doesn't matter. I'm just here for a good time. I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. And that's just where your boy's at. And I'm looking for love, guys. I mean, not love in guys. Although if a man was ready to love me and let me crawl into his arms every night and he would just tell me it's going to be okay, and he had a pussy and a pair of tits and was a woman, yeah, I'd probably let that happen. I'd be into that. I can call him a man. Like if his gender was male, but he looked like Jennifer Aniston in 1996, yeah, I'm in. You can call me gay. Have you seen her pussy? Have you seen her pussy? Blair, what happened tonight? Why are you... Because this is me pre-date. I'm about to go on a date. So my mind is geared towards banging. Also, I think one of the best things about the pandemic, if there's any good thing, is it's kind of forcing you to have conversations via text, right? And what I do usually if I'm talking to somebody, I try to steer it sexual early on because I know that's where my mind already is. And I don't want to push that down too much just to see if they're picking up on it. Okay? And if they, check, raise, if we're on that same page, then I can start saying maybe some wild shit and see what they're at. And then you start talking about the sex stuff. And I think it's important to talk about the things you like about sex before you go and have sex. Because if you don't, then you could be, then you could ask her to spit in her mouth. You could ask her to spit in, hey, babe, spit in your mouth. Spit in the air and catch it in your mouth. Thanks. If you could ask her to spit in your mouth. Isn't it funny how I fucked that up and somehow made it worse than what I was already saying, which was, hey, spit in my mouth. Could you imagine if you're hooking up with a girl and she was like you weren't giving it to her the right way and she's like just spit in the air and caught it in her mouth and spit it in your face? It's like, that's how you do it. Fuck, dude, I'm an idiot. Whatever. But I think it's important. like this is, you love how I try and bring it back in and I try to keep it like a serious tone. But seriously, guys, what I was saying, that was really important to everybody's life, including my own. It's important to have the conversation, to kind of have a blueprint for where you're going to go in the event you hook up. Because I don't think it's not a fun guessing game. I don't want the anxiety of like, wait, can I just go full me? Or do I have to tone it back down, do a 3? Because she might be a missionary with the lights off. And then some fleeting eye contact. I want to know that she wants to get slapped in the face. Tenderly. You don't actually slap somebody in the face hard. But you throw them around a little bit if they tell you to. That's what I'm saying, guys. You have these conversations, and then she says, I like this, this, and this. And you go, I can do that and that and that. And then you ask, wait, is it, how hard are we going with that stuff? And she's like, you're going to better go hard as shit or I'm going to call you a pussy. And you're like, all right, cool. All right, bet. All right, bet, dog. Because before, if you went on a date with somebody, it was kind of a surprise. And that's fun. It's fun to it's fun to be like, back in the day, it was fun to find out that someone was a freak, a closet freak. But I'd rather just know going in. Give me the spoilers. Give me all the spoilers, dude. I don't want to have to come in there and find out for myself that she's just not into anal. I want to know immediately. Immediately. If I'm going to be allowed to touch her butthole or not. That's it. I think that's fair. I'm like answering a text and the end of the last sentence was like, I just want to know if I can touch her asshole or not. Dude, this was a weird one. This was a weird episode. Things were hypersexual. Hypersex drive. Hypersexual tension. What's a good title for this episode? Let's go to hypersexual light speed. Light speed sex. Hyper light sex. Nah, that's not it either. Maybe I'll just call it something random. You know, like 2 gloves and a face mask. It's like, does that? Dude, if I was playing in a game right now, I'd been flagged multiple times. Like that's a 15-yard penalty. Like let's get, yeah, line to yeah. Why do guys always say the line to gain?
The line to gain.
I hate that. Just say it's almost a first down. Fuck's wrong with you? It's like, yeah, I was rounded second and I went to third and she said, don't eat my pussy. So I didn't. So the line to gain was her pussy. I mean, what am I even saying? Blair, go have a beer and get some pussy. All right. But only because you said so. And none of you guys are here to stop me. All right? If you guys were here to stop me. See, in my mind, I'm still trying to think about a good name, like a fun name. Like line to gain would be a good. I like to put the title to be something I said kind of at the end of the podcast. And then if you're listening to it, you're like, wait, there's the fucking title right there. Oh, he said it. He said the title. Other times I like it to be just a total non sequitur where it's just a random phrase that has nothing to do with the episode. Right? Maybe I'll do that. Yeah. I'm just going to do that. And you'll only get it if you listen all the way to the very end, which is right now. Okay. Are we in agreement? We get it? We're good? Shout out you guys for understanding what I was trying to do here. Man. All right. I'm fucking off. Eat shit. Fuck Rudy. Love you. Mwah.